Welcome back to the program, and here with us, please welcome Dr. Chatchai Imarom, Pediatrician at Child Safety Promotions and Injury Prevention Research Center, and also Dr. Suthra Auapisithwong, Psychiatrist at Child and Adolescent Mental Health, Rajanagarindra Institute. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ So for today, in our topic, we are going to talk about preventing online pedophilia or combating mental impact health on kids after the incident happened. So we see these things a lot on the news, and most of the pedophile, when they give the reason why they're doing it, is lack of knowledge, or this is out of love that they don't know that this action could be harmful. And for now, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic era, students or children are learning things online, everyone getting online a lot, even as we are working online for some of us. So they are more and more exposed to this content. I would like to raise awareness or ask both of you whether Thailand is actually ready to properly educate about pastoral care, safeguarding in children, and sexual abuse education. First, I would like to ask Dr. Chatchai about this, that the children are easily being lured online by many factors, and it is no doubt that the children are the easy target. But what are the methods that they are luring the children to make the children believe in this?
Okay, so basically, the pedophiles or those abusers usually know what the children want. For example, the parents usually do not give the expensive phone for teenagers. Like, so all these guys probably could be like chatting with a teenage girl or teenage boy online, and then, oh, come to see me, and then, yeah, I'll give you the phone. Or either probably the boy, yeah, if you come to see me, you could play the video game online all day long, kind of thing, or money or expensive stuff. For those youngers, probably this could change from the phone or the computer or the game into a toy, or even snacks, or something which is sounds simple to us, but for them it's just like, oh, a big reward. So most of them just fall into this trap, and then, yeah, they go with pedophiles. Yeah, and usually parents do not know or do not have any idea what happens during that time before it happens. Yeah.
Apart from this method, is there any other methods, like, for example, asking the children to do anything behind the camera, for example?
Yeah, that could happen also. Yeah, because the teenagers, they have some kind of, the brain development itself do not, fully mature as the adults, so they cannot predict what could happen. Sometimes they just wanted to talk to someone, and they have been challenged. Maybe all of you have seen before, like, yeah, let's do this challenge, which is very risky. But this kind of challenge, probably something very inappropriate, and like be taking off their shirt or doing something, in the sexual way. Yeah, probably they fall into this trap as well. Yeah, anything that could happen on the online, like acting them out, yeah, meeting up with new friends, yeah, being challenged, what else, being competitive with others, like, oh, your friends is doing this, why don't you do that, kind of thing. Yeah, this could happen at any aspect, at any way. Yeah, you cannot imagine.
What about you, Dr. Sutra? Most of the cases that you have encountered with your patients, what are the cases that when the children or when the youngsters come to see you?
Yeah, from the doctors Chatchai said, yeah, children are a vulnerable group for being harmed or being targeted by perpetrators online and offline. So when they have a negative experience from online, the parents usually brought them here to help with their emotion or their behavior. Most of the time, they become more irritable, have emotional dysregulated, or even have poorly in academic achievement when they exposed to such harm online for a long time.
But do you think that what should be the basic, fundamental, basic teaching to the children? What should children know before they are actually going online, Dr. Chatchai?
Well, firstly, I would mention the privacy stuff, the privacy issue, and the ground rules. All of those, for example, the screen time, the limitation, and the transparency. Most of the kids, or the parents, do not know what the privacy is. They share everything online, like the photo of themselves. They're checking in. They tell everything online, so everyone could easily access to them, either in person, or by information, or anything that could harm them. And obviously, for those children, yes, of course, they are vulnerable, and they cannot expect or anticipate what's coming. So the privacy probably would be the first thing. Yeah.
Do you think that the Thailand should further promote in terms of giving properly sex educations, or inform the parents, even the parents, about safeguarding issues or pastoral care on this? So that's actually help preventing our children to get exposed to this type of thing.
Yes, sure. I think definitely. Actually, there's some organization who are working with this stuff, like educating the parents regarding to the cyber crimes and abuse and many things about this. Yeah, but of course we have to educate them more. Most of us, or most of the Thai people, when we talk about sex or the crime or anything, they would be like, ignore it, and no, don't say about it. Yeah, don't talk about it. We don't want to hear it. It's like you tell something that you shouldn't tell. But actually, in my perspective, I think this is very important for them to get to know what could happen afterward, or what could happen, what's the risk, what the benefit, what is what could be done to prevent all of this. Otherwise, they would have no idea at all when it's come. Yeah.
ครับดรชัดชัยครับ so far
Yeah.
we have implemented like security system on the computer system.
Yep.
Like Google has like what parental control screen and this kind of stuff. So far, this all stuff are helping at all or not helping at all?
It's helping, but not all. Of course, it's not all. Like, it's not a magic wand that, like, you put it on and then, yeah, there is no cyber crime at all with your kids, that kind of thing. But yeah, it would help once the parents are not available or cannot see what their kids are serving on the internet. Like it would be like the second barrier, the second wall, after the parents themselves. Yeah, first barrier, I would still say the parents would be the most important, but of course the parents cannot be available all the time with their kids. So the parental control program or website or anything, or even the parental control program from the internet provider, could be also very useful for these children as well. Yeah.
I would like to ask Dr. Suthra, do you think that schools in Thailand should have counseling at school when students feeling that they need to talk about this, and the parents are not in their first choice? Do you think that in Thai schools or in Thai society we should have some sort of organization that looking after the well-being and mental health of the children?
Of course, yes. Of course, it's necessary that our society would provide a safety space for children. I need to add up from Dr. Chatchai a little bit from the way that we are working through prevent such situation that harming children. We need to work in parallel from the bottom up and from the top down, right? The bottom up means we need to enhance the life skills of the children to educate them how to protect themselves from harm, how to regulate their emotion, how to communicate safely or like openly without hurting others. So this is a life skill or the social and emotional skills that the children need to learn since they are very young. Okay, and the second one we have to help the parents as well. Like you said, the parents have the task to protect their children. They have the task to teach them how to prevent themselves and to regulate the environment for them, like to set a rule or set a limit for the children. So this is the task of the parents. And furthermore, we have to bring the society, for example, schools and community to help to prevent this from happening. The school needs to have like the curriculum that to teach children and to provide the safe space in the school themselves, that when the children exposed to such violence from online, they have the place or the teachers who can help them to solve this or to have a solution for this.
So Dr. Suthra, could you please talk about what are the psychological effects on children who have been preyed upon through this incident?
Okay, I may provide like the overview of how the experience traumatizes the children first. There are several kinds of traumatic experience. Firstly, we know a lot about the physical harm, right? When children being punished, being abused, being physical punished by their parents in the household is one of the first like recognition from the society. However, there are other kinds, for example, sexually abuse or online or cyber bullying or cyber abuse. Okay, and also how the psychological abuse that happen every day when the child exposed to such environment. So the impact is lifelong and depends on the situation that happened to them. Yeah, when they exposed, for example, when they exposed to sexually abuse, it's one of the most traumatic experience even happened to one people. Okay, so when they have harm by other or a stranger or even by their loved ones in the household, it have a long-term impact on their health and well-being. It can turn out to be depression, substance addiction like alcoholic, or even the post-traumatic stress disorder in adulthood.
So are you saying that this does not even affect them just now at this young age and they would not forget? It will have long-term effect that when they grow up as a person too, as an adult.
Definitely, yeah. It's the evidence and the study across the world that we have to follow up these children's very long time, 10 years or over, to have to help them or cure them. Yeah, so I think the prevention is better than cure.
For Dr. Chatchai, I would like to ask, are there any ways and preventions to educate our children about this online danger? Or should we actually educate the parents? What are the basic fundamental that we should tackle right to the core to solve these problems?
Yeah, speaking of the parents, I would say the parents first, because as working as pediatrician, it's not so easy to teach children. It's not as simple as that. it has to depend on the parents most of the time. And of course, the parents has to know the danger of this, that everything that they are afraid of could happen to their kids as well. It's not like, no, it's not going to happen to our kids, because it's just a very dangerous mindset of the parents. Well, so the most fundamental thing I would say is that the ground rules for the parents to set up the ground rules for the online media using, not online, just every media, like a very simple rules, like limited time screen at certain time at the scheduled time. It's like waking up to the school at the same time of every day. It's just like that. Like, okay, you could surf the internet or watching the video at, let's say, 6 to 7 after you finish your homework and finish your dinner, or get yourself ready for dinner or anything like that. And once you break the rules, there's some consequences happen, and it has to be, all of this has to be started very early. You cannot just let them happen, let it happen, and then you set the ground rules later. That could cause lots of problem, arguments, and shouting to each other, because most of the kids, when they are on the screen, they would addict to it, and then it's not so easy to get them away from the screen. So set the ground rule first, and and get to know what the children could go. Everything could go so far. So the parents has to know first, set the ground rules. It's just like, let the screen raise up your children. That's not okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so when we're talking setting up the ground rules, I mean, it sounds harsh. As let's say if I am a kid and my parents told me off, I would be like, oh, why are you taking away my devices? Because I'm happy to be on my devices. So the question is to go to Dr. Suthra. So is there a nice way or a positive approach how to deal with the children nicely so that they don't feel that they're being taken away from something? They don't feel too stressed on that.
Yeah, it's a easy question but difficult answer, right?
How to deal with the children?
I love to compare to the parents if I work with them. Comparing, like, you protect your kids from being COVID, being infected by COVID-19. You teach them to wear masks, right? To wash their hands, and even you bring them to have a vaccine. Okay, so that's the very concrete way to help them to understand how to protect their children. Comparable if the parents aware, like Dr. Chatchai said, that online can harm their children as well, not only the virus. So they have to build up the children, the kids' strength before they expose to the harm online. They have to build their the knowledge and their ability to cope with dangerous content or media. Okay, and they have the responsibility by themselves to limit the time, like the screen time, the sleeping time, how to study before playing games or something like that. Yeah, so the parents will more cooperate with the way that we introduce to them.
But is there a way that to make them feel not being taken away something from them? Like, is for example, I can't just say, hey, stop. This is you exceed the time that I give it to you. This is so negative that I would use. But is there a way to say that to them that I don't know, like, let's do something else? Or
yeah, actually, in the child psychiatry field, we have three methods, like three solutions for preventing children from being addicted or being overuse of the internet. Firstly, the family would have more quality time together. They need to like have dinner together, play together, or do something else together without screen. This is one of the way that you prevent them from being like addicted to screen. Okay. Secondly, the parents need to help their children to have more responsibility according to their age. For example, like 5 years old, they need to eat by themselves. They don't need someone to spoon feed them. Yeah. When eating, the children need to left their phone somewhere else, not in the table, something like that. Okay, and the third one, the parents need to reduce the time for the children to expose to the media or to the internet. Okay, it is three easy, not easy, but like the three suggestions for every family.
So for Dr. Chatchai, what has been done so far to stop predatory activities online?
Well, there are many approaches that in Thailand they are doing right now. For example, in terms of policy, or they set up the reporting system, or even the website or the unit, the police cybercrime unit, that they could taking down all of these dangerous websites. They have the education, but still not in the school system, maybe outside on the internet. Yeah, the parents could access to that, but not every parents could do that, of course. There are some, yeah, the people are more recognized of this stuff more and more, and we are moving forward, but it's not as fast as it could be, or it should be. Yeah, because it's like they are doing separately on their own, and they don't know what they have. The parents do not know what they don't know, and lots of stuff still going on. But yeah, there's something happened already. Yeah, legislation, policy, police unit, internet provider, and the parents, and many stakeholders are involved in this. Yeah, but not as much as I expected. Yeah.
So when do you think it's gonna reach the results as much as you expected?
Well, this kind of stuff, serving the internet and raising the kids by the screen is something I call it culture, and you cannot change the culture over like 2 years or 3 years. Probably it's cross the generation. Yeah, and moreover, it would be something new adding up. There's going to be one issue, and there's going to be another new issue coming, adding on all of this, and then I don't know when it's going to change, but yeah, hopefully it will change. Gradually, the next generation. Yeah.
Okay, my last question to ask you: what would be your advice to the parents, or what would be your advice to maybe to the organization that they could help and raise this awareness? Because seeing that some parents, as you mentioned, they still don't know that these actions is actually child abuse or sexual abuse, and we can see a lot in Thai society.
Well, in terms of the parents, I would say, again, set the ground rules as early as possible. Talk to your kids as often as possible to see if there's something wrong or something happened to your children. Towards the big picture, I would say the policy or the organization, yes, please raise awareness about the privacy or the human rights, which is like the basic, a very fundamental issue. And it could lead to a better approach or better understanding why we have to work on this. Yeah, that's just all. I think that's just all. The human rights and the talk with the children early for your parents. Yeah.
And as for Dr. Suthra, when you have patients coming to see you, what are your basic advice that given to the children or the parents about them that being sexually abused or exposed both online and offline. And also I would like to talk about some parents, when we do comparisons between Thai society and Western society, hugging and kissing, there are boundaries as well. But at what extent that we should do hugging and kissing, and until at what age to our children?
Okay, actually, it's like the topic of setting boundary and teaching children to aware of their rights on their body and even
Yes.
of their space, of their ability to do whatever, right? So I think it's like the ongoing learning for the parents themselves and for how to they teach their children at each age. Okay. However, I think the developmental task of the children is the core that the parents should be aware of. For example, if they like spoon feed the children when they are growing up, either like they are 5, 6, or 7 years, they still being spoon feed. They don't know how to mastery or to control themselves. So if they know what they need, can do by themselves and how they can help others, is the way to teach about the rights and the boundaries to them. Okay, yeah. So maybe it's a complex issue that we need more time to then discuss on this.
I see. Right. So, can you tell us more about your organization, Dr. Chatchai, your Child Safety Promotion and Injury Prevention Research Center, the work and also updating what's going on?
Well, we are the organization in the hospital, in Rajanagarindra Hospital, founded like 10 years ago. We're working on the research and the advocate on the child safety, both intentionally and unintentionally. Intentionally, let's say it's like child abuse, sexual abuse, this universe, and also the unintentional injuries is like drowning, road traffic accident. Yeah, and we work with many organizations and also both in Thailand and also internationally. Yeah, to raise the awareness, running the research or implementation research on the child safety with many aspects. Yes, that's what we are working with.
How about Dr. Suthra, Child and Adolescent Mental Health Rajanagarindra Institute? What the main job, and also can you update that if people need help, where to find it?
Yes, we are doing both consultants for the family who are like disturbed by the experience of the children that they have exposed to harm online and offline. We are a consultant and we link them to get help from other organizations. For example, Child Safety is one of the main player in helping these children, right? And also connected them to school, to the safe environment afterwards. Okay, and also we facilitate the policy implementation as well. We now have a collaboration with the Child Safety to have a platform together to help the vulnerable children to get help, both their security and their mental health.
Okay, so for now, for today, thank you very much. Thank you for both of you for joining us today. So we really appreciate your contributions and your advice to help us understand more about this area, and in order to help improve our society towards the happier and healthier society, and building stronger and produce Thai citizen with quality as well. For today, thank you very much, both of you. Thank you, Dr. Suthra, and thank you, Dr. Chatchai.
ขอบคุณครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ